Let's say that there's a young woman and she graduates with a Stanford MBA, top of her class. She's got it all together. She is smart and she goes out into the business world and she's trying to find the right job. She does her research. She gets a headhunter. Man, she is matched with the great job, right? It fits her skill set. It fits her abilities. It's the right salary and it's in the right town that she wants to live in, the right city she wants to live in. So she makes application for this job. And in a few weeks, she comes back and she gets one of those letters that says, thank you for your application, but we've decided to go in another direction, right? At this point, many people would just get very frustrated. And if you're a Christian, sometimes Christians get very angry, but it's really interesting that sometimes we get really angry about God not answering things that he never promised he would. That we're holding him accountable to promises that he actually never made. The job was not promised. It was just that she did what you and I do, and she did a cost-benefit analysis of her life and said, skills match up with the situation. This seems to work. This must be God's will. But then just fast forward a little bit down the road, and this same woman, she finds a different job. It's in nonprofit, right? And so she's not making a whole lot of money, but she's able to survive and everything's great. But she's discovered that the career has led to some really great relationships that she has. In fact, this boy, he showed up one day and he seemed really nice. They went to coffee, they had more conversation, and now they're engaged. And she also finds out that down the road, there was a scandal at the company that she was applying to. And as a result of that, there are layoffs happening everywhere and everything's falling apart. See, that story has showed up in my life and in the life of people that I've known over and over and over again. And the reason for it is because you and I sometimes set our hearts on a thing, right? We set our hearts on a thing and we think this must be God's will. This boy's God's will. This girl's God's will. This job is God's will. This set of circumstances is God's will. When the reality is you and I are not very good at discerning God's will because we can only see so far. But God sees to the end, right? And because God sees to the end, he will withhold things from us that we want in favor of a better and preferred future that he can bring about. So sometimes God doesn't hold out on you because he doesn't love you or because he's angry at you or because you're not worthy of the thing you're asking for. Sometimes it's simply that he has something better for you down the road that you and I can't actually see.